A new flagship report from the United Nations University has issued a stark warning: the world has entered an era of global water bankruptcy. Released on January 20, 2026, the report, Global Water Bankruptcy: Living Beyond Our Hydrological Means in the Post-Crisis Era, argues that humanity is no longer facing a temporary water crisis, but a systemic failure of freshwater systems that, in many regions, cannot realistically recover. The report defines water bankruptcy as persistent over-withdrawal and the irreversible or prohibitively costly loss of water-related natural capital. According to its authors, terms like water stress or water crisis no longer capture the scale of the damage. Many rivers, lakes, wetlands, and underground aquifers have been pushed beyond their ability to return to historical conditions. The human impact is already widespread. Roughly 4 billion people, nearly half of the global population, experience severe water scarcity for at least 1 month each year. Around 75% of humanity now lives in countries classified as water insecure or critically water insecure. Environmental losses are equally severe. Over the past 50 years, approximately 410 million hectares of natural wetlands have disappeared, an area nearly the size of the European Union. At the same time, more than 70% of the world's major aquifers show long-term declines due to chronic overextraction. In many regions, excessive groundwater pumping is also causing land subsidence. The report estimates that sinking land now affects around 2 billion people worldwide, with some cities subsiding by up to 25 centimeters per year, permanently reducing underground water storage capacity. Agriculture lies at the center of the problem. Farming accounts for about 70% of global freshwater withdrawals, and more than half of the world's food production now takes place in regions where total water storage is declining or unstable, increasing risks to food security, livelihoods, and economic stability. Lead author Kaveh Madani stresses that the world must move beyond short-term crisis responses. Instead, he calls for a shift to bankruptcy management, an approach focused on adapting to permanent limits, preventing further irreversible damage, and managing water more equitably and sustainably. The report was released ahead of the 2026 UN Water Conference, where global leaders are expected to confront the reality that water systems across the planet have been fundamentally altered, and that returning to normal is no longer an option. Global water bankruptcy marks a turning point, where environmental damage, food security, and human stability are now inseparably linked by the limits of freshwater. For more evidence-based reporting on global environment and climate risks, stay with Environment Eyepiece.